What's going on, guys? I wanted to do a technical analysis video on Toshi because there's a couple of things that I'm starting to notice here on the charts. And one thing that I want to make clear for a lot of people, especially if you're newer to crypto, you're newer to holding a lot of these things, you're kind of wondering what's going on. Why is the market pulling back? It's not just Toshi. You look around the board, Bitcoin is down, Ethereum is down, Solana, all of the other meme coins, a lot of the AI alt utility coins and stuff like that. So it's not just Toshi. What we want to see start to have happen here is we want to see the market start to go sideways a little bit more. And again, there's two sides to this story. If you believe in the project and you believe in the bull run that's going to come here in 2025, meme coins are always the last to pop. So first, what you're going to start to see is you're going to start to see Bitcoin start to bounce and get back over its 100,000. Once it starts to really ramp up a little bit, 105, 110, 115, closer to 120, I think we're going to get to 120. You're going to start to see things like Ethereum and Solana and some of the other bigger alts start to push up as well. And then what's going to follow is going to be your memes. Okay, it's always like that in every single cycle. So we are actually about 2 to 3 weeks behind some of the bigger blue chip names out there, which is good, and good for one reason. It's going to give you more time to dollar cost average and get as many tokens as you want to get that you're going to be able to hold for the next, let's say 2 to 3 months. Okay, that's my timeline for taking profits on this particular project. I will leave a bag all of 2025 until the end of 2025, but the majority of my bag is going to get sold between now, once we start to get ramped up, and into May. Okay, that's my timeline. Then I'm going to hold a runner bag, which is going to be basically house profits till the end of 2025 and beyond, and we're going to see what this baby wants to do. But let's talk short term. What I'm starting to notice here is that we've come all the way down to my golden buy zone here, and we're just treading along this golden buy zone. I've got a golden buy zone between 5.5 and 7.5. If you can get any kind of tokens in dollar cost average in that range between 5.5 and 7.5, I think you're going to be really, really good, because I think that even testing the all-time highs here is going to be at least a 2.5 to maybe even 3x once we blow this top off. So whatever you've got in here, you can expect at least a double up. You can probably expect at least a triple up. And depending on what that average is, we want to be as close to the floor as possible, guys, with our average. So it's aggressive DCAing again. But what I'm starting to notice here is, if you notice that last pop that we had here this past week, this pop was really, really good because we kind of faded, and we kind of back test that whole Coinbase listing, area and prices. And then we put in a very, very strong hammer candle. So for those of you guys who are not familiar with technical analysis, a hammer candle is very, very strong. Once we got through that hammer candle, we really popped. Okay, we really popped. And I know that there was a lot of people that bought in here and took this for a quick day trade, a quick, in and out type of trade, and doubled their money. A lot of people did it. I actually took a little separate bag, and I went in, not too much, but I went in a couple million tokens, and I just sold. And it was a pretty good little pop, but I treated that as more so of a day trade. It didn't come out of my bag that I'm holding. Right now I'm holding multiple millions of tokens. So I'm really looking for, that nice 3 to 5x, to be honest. But what I'm looking at here is, if I was to draw a trend line to exactly where we broke out from once we got the whole Coinbase kind of, rumor, once we were going to be listed on Coinbase, you could see a lot of consolidation here. And then we got that rumor and we started to really break out once it started to get listed. Well, if I was to drag a trend line from the previous resistance right here before we actually broke out, okay, and I start to drag it all the way across, look at where it's matching up with. That bounce point from earlier this week. Look at what it just did now, guys. We put in another hammer candle at that same trend line. Whales are buying in, okay? Whales are buying in. It's a waiting game right now to see when is the overall market going to start to move as a whole, okay? And until that happens, then you're going to see things like Toshi start to move. And what you want to do is not lose conviction, because the moment you start losing conviction is the moment you're going to be buying back into Toshi way up here when you could have already had it down here, guys. Okay, so just think about that. Now, if this candle continues to pop and we do the same thing that we did right here and we take out that hammer candle, okay, that was put in about, about 24 hours ago now. If we start to take out those highs, you're going to start to see an aggressive push back into 9s and back into 10s. And that determining factor here at 10s is going to determine, are we going to take out these highs, most recent highs of 12s? And if we do, 14s is our next pit stop. Okay, so from here to 14s, I believe is going to be the next pit stop. Anything over 14s to 16s and then 18s. So keep those numbers in mind as we're working our way up the charts. Again, you don't really want to be dollar cost averaging in too much as we're going up here. So if you do really want to be a part of the project, take whatever tokens you have right now, do the math. If you were to see a 3 to 5x return on your money, how much would you want to see that return be? Okay, and then from there you want to load up as close to the floor as possible. Now let's give it the worst case scenario. Let's say we do pop up just a little bit and the market wants to continue to go down for another 2 to 3 weeks, not just Toshi, but the entire market. And let's say we want to put in a new low. I think you're going to come back down here and you're going to fill this wick. Okay, fill this wick, and that could get another test into mid 5s. I think mid 5s is going to be a fantastic opportunity. I wish I could get some in the mid 5s, but we'll have to wait and see. If I can get some in the mid 5s, I'm definitely going to load up more. If we do lose this wick here below the mid 5s, it's a little bit of a different story. What that's going to tell me is that our actual run is probably not going to start for at least 30 days because it's going to take a little bit of time to start to recover. If we hold from here, I can see going right into March and this thing starts to fly. If we lose 5.5s and we come down and we break this whole big trend line here and we start to really close below it and we start to really build below that, you can see us come all the way down to the floors of 3. Again, should you be, completely panicked if we do? I think this is the absolute rock bottom floor. I mean, this is the floor that I have. This is going, before that price action, it wasn't really doing anything. You got the rumor of the Coinbase news. You got the Coinbase listing, boom, the pop. And now we're all the way back down in that zone. So you're basically getting the most perfect entry that you can get if you can get it between 3s and 5s. Again, 3s is a little dramatic. Okay, that's a little extreme. I don't think we're going to come down to the 3s by any means. Again, I could be wrong. The market can just continue to go down, like anything else, right? But all I'm looking at here is this swing low and this swing low. Anything below 6s in the 5s, it's got to be your final, not final, but it's got to be like a necessary aggressive load zone. Okay, because if it does do something like this where it breaks the 5s and then springboards up here, you're going to double, if not triple your money from down here in 5s all the way back up here to 14s. You're going to triple your money. I mean, you're going to double your money. Like it's a no-brainer. So again, you want to be as aggressively down to the floor as possible. So that way, when it starts to kick up, you're going to be right there. Now we could very well start, because notice the previous resistance spot, once we really broke through, we back tested it and it held. So these 4.5s to 5.5s, they held already once. The 5.5s have held twice. We came all the way back down. They've held. We put in a beautiful bounce and we're back down here again. So if we hold yet again, this is putting in a higher low for that next push up into these 13s, guys. Into these 13s is what I'm really looking for on that first move. So just play it accordingly. If you guys enjoy this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see all of you guys on the next video. If I see anything else that looks revolutionary on the chart or looks, like we need to, maybe hold off another 2 to 3 weeks before buying, then I will definitely make a video and give my opinion on that. Again, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a full-time day trader who trades stocks and options and is also an investor in certain crypto projects and coins. With that being said, I'll see you guys all in the next video.